Most beginner DJ controllers are a trap. I know because I bought 3 of them before I figured it out. They look legit, they fit your budget, and then 2 weeks later, they're sitting on a shelf next to your other abandoned hobbies. So to save you the time, money, and the quiet disappointment, I broke beginner DJ controllers into 7 levels, from the $90 pocket toys to the undisputed king of the beginner setup. I'm Lavonda, and today I'll show you exactly where people waste their money and what you should actually get as a beginner DJ. So let's start at the bottom. This is level 1, the shelf filler. And if you've ever searched cheap DJ controller, you've definitely seen the Hercules DJControl Starlight. Coming in at anywhere from 90 to $100, people online will say things like, it's fun, it's great for beginners, it's perfect for travel, and all of that is true for about a week. Because here's what you're actually working with. Tiny jog wheels, a super cramped layout, only a 2-band EQ, and it also only comes with Serato Light, so you don't even get a choice. And right away, you're not even learning how to mix properly. And the biggest issue is this. Nothing on this controller lets you be precise. I know because I bought it and I ended up giving it away. The jog wheels are too small to really control your timing, the EQ is limited, and everything is packed so tight that you never build real muscle memory or get used to what an upgraded controller will actually feel like. So yeah, you can press play and you can trigger cues and you can feel like you're DJing, but you're not actually developing real control. It doesn't push you forward, it just kind of keeps you busy until one day it ends up sitting on the shelf. So if level 1 is the controller that never really gets you started, level 2 is where things start to look legit. All right, level 2 I call looks legit till you use it. And this is the Pioneer DDJ Flex 2. This is where a lot of beginners think, okay, now I'm getting real gear because it looks the part. You've got the Pioneer branding, a clean layout, the same family as the Flex 4, and it comes ready to play with record box, algorithm DJ, and Serato Light. So on the surface at $189, this feels like the safe choice. And online, people will say it's a great beginner controller, it's perfect to get started, and then you actually start using it, and the limitations show up fast. I know because I had one and I used it on one of my previous videos. First, the outputs. You're working with a single mini jack for your master and a mini jack for headphones. There's no RCA out, there's no mic input. So the second you want to plug it into proper speakers or do anything slightly more serious, you're already adapting your setup. And then there's the workflow. You can't browse and load the tracks from the controller, so you're constantly on your laptop, which breaks the whole DJing feeling. There's no dedicated effects section. There's no proper loop controls, there's no beat jump. So instead of learning how it is to really DJ, you're either using simplified features or you're working around missing ones. This controller gives you access, but not control, and it's enough to start, but not enough to stay on. And that's why this is where a lot of people hit that moment of, wait, do I actually need to upgrade already? So if level 2 looks like the right move, but starts to feel limiting pretty quickly, level 3 goes in a completely different direction and leans all the way into convenience and gimmicks instead. Moving on to level 3, I call it the gimmick level. This is the Hercules DJControl Mix Ultra, coming in at around $197. Now this is where things start to sound impressive. It's battery powered up to 10 hours, has Bluetooth, there's no cables, it works with your phone or your tablet. You've got your jog wheels, your pads, your effects, even Neural Mix, which splits the vocals and instruments because it comes bundled with Algorithm's DJ app. And on paper, this sounds stacked. And that's the gimmick. Because everything about this is designed to make DJing feel portable, but not better. First, let's talk about Bluetooth. Because even with low latency, the lag, even at barely there, is still going to affect your timing. And that matters more than people think, especially when you're a beginner. And second, the size. It's compact, it's portable, you can literally use it on your lap anywhere, but that also means smaller jog wheels, less spacing, less control, just like the previous controllers. It's not practical, unless you just want to play at a party or on your commute and mess around. I actually have this one and I kept it because I love being able to take it anywhere and mix, but I wouldn't recommend it as your main rig if you're just starting out. So if level 3 leans into gimmicks, level 4 is where things finally get serious and the controller actually starts pushing you to learn. What if your controller could teach you how to DJ, but it also quietly holds you back at the same time? Level 4 I call the training wheels level. This is the Hercules DJControl Impulse 300 MK2. Sheesh! Price is about $249. And this is the first controller on the list that actually tries to teach you something. On paper, it's super solid. Has a full 3-band EQ, bigger jog wheels, better response. It has Serato DJ Lite and de-juiced included. And then there are the learning features. It's got the beat match guide with built-in lights that show you how to line up your tracks. It's got intelligent music assistant, and that will suggest which track to play next, and online people love this. They say things like, it helped me learn fast, it was super beginner friendly, it made DJing less intimidating, and all of that is true. But here's the catch. This controller teaches you, but it can also train you the wrong way, because now you're watching lights instead of listening and learning to use your ears, following suggestions of an AI instead of selecting your own tracks. So you can mix, but you're not building that instinct. And the second you switch to other gear, you will feel it immediately. So yes, this is real progress with training wheels. And if level 4 teaches you how to get started, level 5 is where things finally start to feel like real DJing. All right, at level 5, we have your first real controller. This is the Newmark Mixtrack Pro FX. The price is about $229. Now this is where things start to feel like real DJing. It's pretty solid. It's got a 3-band EQ, high quality sound with a 24-bit audio interface, and RCA outputs. So now you can actually plug into speakers, record, you can stream like a normal setup. You've got large 6-inch jog wheels, and this is a big jump because now you can actually feel your adjustments. You can nudge the track and tighten your timing. And then there's the effects. You get 6 effects with dedicated paddle triggers. Now this is huge because instead of digging through menus, you're hitting effects instantly. You've also got 8 performance pads per deck, instant loop controls. So now you can start experimenting without breaking your flow. And online, people say the same thing. It's the best value for the price. Finally feels like real DJing. It's a great jog wheels for beginners, but it's not perfect. First, the build. It's still plastic. It's still lightweight, so it doesn't feel premium. Second, the effects are limited. You've got quick access, but not deep control. So as you improve, you might want more flexibility. And third, Serato DJ Lite. Out of the box, you're a bit locked in. And if you want the full features, you'll end up paying for its Serato DJ Pro. And I think this is a great beginner controller. But level 6 is where things get a little more premium and specific. And you might accidentally choose a style before you're ready. What if your controller is designed for a specific type of DJ and you're not that DJ yet? Level 6 is the I picked a lane too early level. This is the Pioneer DDJ Rev 1 coming in at about $299. And yes, I will always call it Pioneer the same way I will always call Twitter. Now this is where things start to feel more advanced, but also a little more specific. Because this controller is built differently. It has a battle style layout with horizontal pitch faders and larger jog wheels that are modeled after turntables. So right away, this is geared toward scratch DJs. And online, people love that. They say it's easy to use, it's a great value, it's good for beginners and experienced DJs. This is a great piece of gear, but it assumes something about you. It assumes you want to scratch or go battle style. And most beginners, they don't actually know that yet. Now, if this matches your style, you'll love it. So go for it. In fact, if you want to be this type of DJ, this is your top pick. But if you want to mix house music, go with a different controller, like level 7. So what if you could skip all of this and just start on the right controller? Well, level 7 is the one you should have bought first. This is the Pioneer DDJ Flex 4. It comes in at about $329, and this is the one that gets recommended over and over and over again for a reason. Because it hits the balance that most beginner controllers miss. It's got the full 3-band EQ, filter knobs, solid jog wheels, proper RCA outputs, USB-C, mic input, and it resembles the layout on the more advanced DJ controllers like CDJs. And then there's the workflow. And this is key. It works with Record Box and Serato, so you have options. And you're learning a layout that actually can translate to club gear later on, and that matters more than people think. And online, this is where people land. They say it's the best beginner controller, worth the extra money, no need to upgrade for a long time because it just works. No gimmicks, no weird layout, no missing features that frustrate you later. This is the first controller that does everything you need without getting in your way or holding you back. You can stay on this for a long time. You can learn properly and not feel like you need to upgrade after a few months. So if you're trying to figure out where to start, don't climb this whole ladder. Just start here and skip the part where you waste money trying to figure it out. And if you want to avoid even more gear mistakes, go watch this video right here where I break down the gear I regret buying and what I would do differently.